Hi, welcome to Old Guys Gentlemen Flippers number 31. And today what I'm going to be doing is comparing the KME system, which I've currently sold, that I used for, I don't know, about 8 or 9 months, and sort of upgraded to the Wicked Edge. So I'll do some comparing and contrasting and tell you why I ended up selling the KME and getting this. But first I need to say is both systems are really good. They get you really sharp blades and mirror finishes, and they're both good systems. Okay, in terms of sharpening and mirroring, I find that this Wicked Edge system, I think because of the stropping, the preciseness of everything, and the fancy stropping that they do. I'm not going to touch this blade because it's all set up. But basically, you do 50 or more of these things, which sounds like a lot. Some people do like 100, but it really gets rid of the previous grind and really kind of smooths out the mirroring process and really makes them sharp. KME I found was easier to sharpen, a lot easier to mirror. I think one of the things is with the KME, the jaws and the knife blade are facing you, and so while you're working on it, you can see what you're doing. So if there's any marks. Now here what you need to do is need to turn over here, and then I pretty much have to get a light, and it just takes a little bit more effort to get that blade ready for the next stone. Cost. KME is vastly cheaper on the face of it, cheaper sharpener. I think I spent about $200 to get the basic kit, which had like, I think it had 4 diamond stones, and that was enough to do sharp edges and everything, not necessarily mirror edges. I ended up buying accessories, and by the time I was done, to the point where I could do everything I wanted to do recurves, serrations, different kinds of blades, really small angled blades. It was like $960. So be wary of the inexpensive stuff. I think it's made in the US. I think this stuff is also, a lot of the stuff is made in the US. This one was the Pro Pack 2 kit, and it cost, I want to say, like $460, so like double the original thing. And it had a little bit better stone assortment, and it's also better, more professional, tighter precision stuff. But since I bought that, I've bought the low angle adapter, and I bought these are the basic stones that come with it. Oh, they're over here. The 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, and then the ceramics of 1 micron and 0.6 micron, and a couple of strops with I think it was like 1 micron and 0.5 micron diamond paste. But since then, because I had such good work come out of using the Chocera stones, which were extra for the KME, I went ahead and bought a set of those. Also, on the KME, I had a 1500 grit stone that doesn't come with a basic, just goes up to 1000. So I went ahead and recently bought those. I haven't used these yet. It's 1500 on one side and glass on the other side, so that I can use their tapes, diamond lapping films. This is 1 micron. I've ordered some more of these, and I've also ordered an extra glass platen paddle or 2. It never stops. So anyhow, the amount of money that I've invested in this thing so far, including the stuff that's still coming in, the other thing I bought, and I'll tell you a little bit later why, is I bought the Gen 3 vise. And I'm not sure at this point whether it's going to solve the problem that I have, but we'll see when it gets here. And I'll review that. So putting all that together, I'm probably up around $1,200, or roughly the price of a brand new Shirogorov Hottie. But this I can use over and over again, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to being able to sharpen stuff. It really is an addiction. But moving along, accuracy. In the KME, there's a lot of slop in play. It's in the base, it's in the what do you call it? The main axle that rotates the clamp. And so I would see variations that would run anywhere from 0.3 to 0.5 degrees. I spent a lot of time trying to get the play out of it. And I would get a little bit out of here or there, and but in the end, I kind of decided, well, no, that's just the way that system was built. I can't turn a sharpener into a milling machine, no matter how hard I try. And in the end, I don't think you'll ever see the difference between 0.3 and 0.5, but I'm a little OC in this stuff, and I don't like things jiggling and everything like that. So on this system, it's just solid as a rock. There's like, what you're hearing there, there's like almost no play at all in the balls there. Everything's really firm and tight. These jaws, you could never get, on the KME you could take this and you could kind of move it around a little bit. This is solid as a rock. It's on this nice big marble or granite base, and the flat on here matches the true 0 degree up here really well, and so you get better accuracy. Now the one falsehood to that is the way these jaws are designed is you tighten down on this screw here first, and then you basically push a screw through here, pushing against this, and the thing goes like this and adds a little bit extra force on here, and that's one of the things that makes it so rock solid. The problem is when you do that, you're putting just a little bit of extra torque, and this knife wants to rotate like that. And I didn't notice it when I was sharpening. I noticed a little bit that the edge on this side was just a little bit less deep than the one on this side. So I went ahead and measured it by putting this in it, and I was getting somewhere between 0.1 and 0.3 degrees. And remember, the KME was like 0.3 to 0.5 degrees. So it's even less. What I just told you probably didn't matter, but it kind of bugged me. I did find that there's some little tricks in the way you set it up where you can get that down closer to 0.1. There's also, and by the way, I'm giving these angle measurements. I used to use the angle cube, which has an accuracy of plus or minus 0.2 degrees. And so the accuracies of anything you do with this, you can't believe beyond 0.2 degrees. But I ended up buying this TLL90S, which has an accuracy of, in the angles that I measure in, of 0.005 degrees. So I really can kind of see some of the differences. This is way overkill. You don't need this, but it makes me happy. All right. Anyhow, when you do that, it cants it over, and there's some things you can do to make that better. There's taping schemes where you can compensate for that extra kind of torque being put on the blade. The other thing that one guy did is he takes the handle off and he uses the tang as the perfect vertical point, sets it on that, and that's kind of a brilliant idea. Now the tang of some knives can be kind of small, and I haven't tried that yet, but I can see how that would work. You got to take the bolster, this part of the knife off, which is a little bit of a hassle, but I have ended up doing that anyhow, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Versatility. On the KME, you can do curves and serrations, recurves, I mean. But on this one, you can do curves, and I think they even have some stones that are slightly rounded to help you with that. I don't have any. But they don't have any serration capability. And I read something that they're working on it, but I don't believe they have that capability. Thickness compensator, both KME and these guys have it. It both looks kind of similar in its effectiveness. Overall, I'd have to say, in terms of the good, the KME was less expensive and it'll do 95% of what you want. This one, well, let me just go down the rest of the goods. It's fast and easy sharpening and mirroring. This one takes a little bit longer. It does not have precise repeatability if you're bringing the knife back again. This one does. It's good for a wide assortment of knives. This one has some limitations on thickness, especially if you go to the Gen 3, which has a thickness limit of 3/16 of an inch. So all my knives will fit that, but one of them, Ferrum Forge Scepter, just barely fits in there. I'm not even sure if I can put tape on that when I put it in. The KME is more portable. It's not as heavy as all this. Now, maybe I should be comparing it to the portable one that Wicked Edge does, but I think the KME will end up being lighter and smaller. They both had good customer support, but the KME I think is a little bit better. Ron, and I think he has another couple of guys who answer the phone. I mean, I think they look at posts and they'll talk to you until you're perfectly satisfied. They'll take as much time with you that you need. I was really impressed with that. Wicked Edge, also they pick up the phone. They're a little bit slower, I think, to respond to like email or internet responses. But when I was talking to, I think I was talking to Clay, he spent as much time as I needed. He's not like guys over KME will literally carry on a conversation with you, where Wicked Edge is more like let's solve your problem. So either one's good. Some of the goods on this one is it's a little dirty right now, but it feels good, it looks good, and it really appeals to my engineering nature. It's rock solid and precise. It takes a little bit longer to get a sharp edge or a mirror edge, but it is sharp. Actually, let me backtrack it. If you just want to make a sharp edge and you don't care about mirror, it probably does a little bit faster than the KME. I've done some kitchen knives that you practically lay the knife next to the tomato and walk away and it automatically slices the tomato, or something like that. I think I already talked about the vice cant. I thought that was strange that that's there, and we'll see on the Gen 3 if that's it. But you know, using the tang as a 0 point, I'm going to try that, and I think that might fix everything. I think the main bad thing, I'm not sure if I covered this already, the main bad thing on the KME is the slop. And it works, gives you good edges, gives you mirror sharp. It just kind of bugged me. I don't like things shaking and rattling and wondering, you know, what's the angle of the stone doing to the knife at any particular point. But if this wasn't available, and if I wasn't able to find the money to get this, I would have been fine with the KME forever. But I did have a little bit extra money, and I do like preciseness, so I ended up getting this. And I think in the end, I'm going to figure out the cant issue. I've already figured out the paddle issue. This is a sharper system, and it fits my more precise needs. But like, no sane sharpener should have something like this, and you get to see more errors when you do this. But I find that all fun. You know, some of the mods that I picked up from the internet so far Or instead of this thing hitting metal, I've got some carved out piece of plastic that I put in there. Got some magnets in here to catch flying dust. I didn't need this because I got really good lighting on the KME, but for this one, you know, I've got a nice light that I can bend around and look. I've seen some people have dual lights, which might be a better solution than this. Put a little pad here because otherwise these come crashing down. I should probably do a black pad because this thing's kind of disgusting. I think that's it. So, bottom line, either system's good. If you want a little bit better precision and you got a little money in your pocket, this is the way to go. If you don't, you'll get 95 to 98% of some of the things that this does at a much lower budget. But be careful of the accessories because it'll drive you right up within a few $100s of what I'm spending on this. So that's it. Hope you got some value out of it. And until next time.